Howdy, howdy, fellow movie fans of the internet, and welcome back to another edition of the Wisco Movie Watchers podcast. As always, we're your hosts, Evan and Dylan Davies. Game show episode today. Dylan, what are we doing?
We're building a movie.
We are building a movie. Are we calling this the random movie generator now?
I think so. I think that's a good title.
The random movie generator, because we're no
I don't
longer using
know.
AI to make
Yes.
these lists. Dylan's using his brain and random generators off the internet.
Yes.
As opposed to ChatGPT. So, also, found out ChatGPT super detrimental. I know data centers are harmful to the environment just due to water consumption. I didn't know how bad it was though, because I
Oh.
used ChatGPT for the first time while stuck on vacation after the orange dictator decided to illegally invade a country. And I was like, oh, this is so nice and whatever. And then I looked into it, I was like, oh my God. the the environmental impact of AI is fucking
Well,
brutal, dude.
here we go. One more reason for me to avoid it.
All right, so on today's episode, in this game show episode, Dylan and I will be building a franchise film, if I remember correctly.
Mine is not technically a franchise, but it's an IP.
But we are picking an IP and we have to build a movie out of the IP. And we have a bunch of random actors, actresses, character actors, and directors to choose from. So we have to pick it off this list. And it's 20
Yes.
actors, 20 actresses, 10 character actors and actresses. So it's split 5 and 5. And we also have a choice of 10 directors.
Yep.
And that's going to be a really interesting thing to do. Now, I remember what I am building. What franchise or what IP are you working with?
So I'm making a remake of Clue,
Yes.
but it's not going to be the same exact portrayals of the characters. What I did was I went to the Wikipedia page for Clue, and there's like, I don't know, 5 different variations of each character.
Yeah.
So what I did is actually probably more than 5. There was like 10 for each character. So what I did was I took my favorite one of that, and I have a little list of like some of their characteristics that I'm looking for in the character.
Okay. Question, did you put any of the new Clue in where it's not Mrs. White, it's Miss Orchid or whatever?
So these are the characters I'm looking for.
Okay.
Wadsworth is technically not in the game, but I'm including him.
You gotta have Wadsworth. You gotta have
He's
Wadsworth.
iconic.
You gotta have him.
I got Colonel Mustard, Miss Scarlet, Mrs. White, Mr. Green, Mrs. Peacock, Professor Plum. So all the normal, like the ones that are always in there.
Okay.
And then I have Madame Rose,
Interesting.
Monsieur Brunette, a Miss Peach, and Mr. Body / Dr. Black. Because apparently in Britain it's Dr. Black and not
Dr.
Mr.
Black
Body.
sounds way better than Mr. Body, admittedly.
Oh yeah, of course.
Dr. Black sounds rad. Okay, so you have what, 11 people to
1, 2,
cast?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, 11.
I have 12. I could go to 11 as well because
Perfect.
so we'll be able to go 1 for 1 on this. And Dylan and I can reuse actors. We I don't say we don't try not to. Like if it's the right part, it's the right part. But I will say I have a pretty heavy male character list right now because I'm going to grab it from right behind me actually. And oddly enough, as much of a Batman fan as I am, I would say what turned me from a Batman fan into a comic book fan is what I will be covering today. And I'll be building the Green Lantern Corps, and specifically, I'm going straight from the source material, and I'm going Green Lantern Rebirth. So,
Okay.
and this is everything that you know about Green Lantern that is good comes straight from this book and Jeff Johns. That's exactly where it comes from. So, who I am looking for, and the biggest in terms of if I was turning this into a franchise, the biggest 3 pieces, I need my Hal Jordan, who's the traditional Green Lantern everybody knows. I need Carol Ferris, who is eventually Star Sapphire, and that's Hal's main love interest as well. And I need Sinestro, who is the biggest recurring Green Lantern villain there is, especially as you go into the modern comic iterations. But I'm also going to do John Stewart Green Lantern, Kyle Rayner Green Lantern, and I'll give a little bit on each of them as need. Kilowog, who's a classic Green Lantern character. Ganthet, who's one of the Guardians of the Universe, the little blue people that run the Guardians of the Galaxy. Or I'm sorry, the Green Lantern Corps. My God, slip there. I need Parallax, who was, wildly, uh, is a wild, parasitic, huge cosmic villain. I need the Spectre, who is essentially the Wrath of God. There's no better way to say it than that character. And both of those can be more voice work. And then I need Oliver Queen, who is also Green Arrow. He's best friends of Hal Jordan. He's important to the Rebirth story, and because frankly this is a huge sausage fest right now, I'm putting in Green Arrow's main love interest, Dinah Lance, also known as Black Canary, because I'm not going to cast a movie with one woman and 10 male parts. So I was like, you know what? If I'm
That's
franchise
fair.
building, I'm going to put in Black Canary. I think Black Canary is a phenomenal character. She has been seen on screen in the Birds of Prey Harley Quinn mashup film, which actually is not so bad. It's an underrated movie for DC, but it came out right as the pandemic hit, so no one remembers it whatsoever.
Never saw it.
It's a fun little movie. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing great, but it's a fun movie, especially if you. It finally lets Margot Robbie cook a little bit as Harley Quinn without just being the silly, constantly has to have a fucking remark in Suicide Squad Harley Quinn. So
Hmm.
it's enjoyable. So those are the parts I'll be casting. And would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first on this?
Um, so you'll throw up the lists, I'm assuming, so
Yes.
we don't have
So
to read them off. Okay, good.
three, two, and one. You're going to see all these actors right now. Okie dokie, folks. Here is the list of talent we have to choose from for the random movie generator this time around. For the actors, Ronnie Cox, Jesse Eisenberg, Gene Hackman, Jared Harris, James Caan, Gene Wilder, Martin Sheen, Roy Scheider, John Travolta, Chris Evans, Michael Keaton, Vin Diesel, Timothy Dalton, Taron Egerton, Alec Guinness, Kurtwood Smith, Dan Fogler, Henry Thomas, Sean Bean, and Paul Dano. Those are your 20 choices for actor. For the actresses, number 1, Margot Robbie, Liv Tyler, Faye Dunaway, Zoe Deschanel, Donna Reed, Amelia Clark, Isla Fisher, Sharon Stone, Veronica Lake, Greer Garson, Jane Fonda, Ellen Burstyn, Jodie Foster, Maggie Smith, Goldie Hawn, Diana Rigg, Claudia Cardinale, Kelly Rowland, Liza Minnelli, and finally Maya Rudolph. Those are the 20 actresses we have to choose from for this episode. And for the character actors and actresses, first up, the character actors: David Bradley, Jason Isaacs, Jimmy Smits, Denholm Elliott, and George Harris. Those are your character actors. Your character actresses: Melissa Leo, Allison Janney, Amy Ryan, Frances Fisher, and Megan Mullally. Those are the 5 character actresses that you can choose from in the show today. And finally, the directors: John McTiernan, Joe Wright, Zack Snyder, Patty Jenkins, Shane Black, George Stevens, Sean Baker, Barry Levinson, Tony Gilroy, and Richard Attenborough. Those are your 10 director choices for the show. Have fun, guys.
And directors.
And directors. All right, we're back in.
Okay. I'll just go down the list, I think. I'll go Colonel Mustard first.
Okay.
So my Colonel Mustard, this is what I'm looking for. around 60 years old, an
Okay.
American. He's a decorated war hero, man of action. He's dignified, dapper, and dangerous.
Okay.
So I'm thinking immediately there's one that jumps to my mind.
Please say it's the same guy I'm thinking about.
And he's right at the top of the list. Oh, actually, there's another one down the list too. So I was thinking either Gene Hackman
Yeah.
or Kurtwood Smith.
That was the one I was like, please tell me he's going to go Kurtwood. You got to have
Oh,
Kurtwood in here somewhere.
that's a real struggle there, actually, because I did not see Kurtwood Smith until that. Who's got more comedic chops? Probably Kurtwood Smith.
I don't. Gene Hackman can ham it
He's
up.
Yeah, he's pretty good in like the Wes Anderson stuff. So
Royal Tenenbaums, he is very good at that. Also, he can ham it up. He did Lex Luthor, and that's a very comedic
yeah,
version of
that's true too.
Lex Luthor. It's an interesting choice either way when you want to
I
go.
think I'm gonna go Gene Hackman.
All
That's the one
right.
that immediately made sense in my
I was
mind.
really hoping you were going to put Kurtwood Smith in there, but
But Kurtwood Smith is definitely like if if Gene Hackman, I make him an offer and he doesn't want it, Kurtwood Smith, you're in. He's subbing in.
and remember, these actors and actresses, they could be alive or dead. We don't care. It's just we're picking a movie and having some fun.
Yeah.
This is
I think
fantasy booking.
Gene Hackman fits a little more with the dignified and dapper than
Right.
Kurtwood Smith does.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. I don't know, Dead Poet Society. There's just a little dignified there. It's too dignified,
Yeah.
if anything.
Yeah, oh yes, he's a complete asshole in that movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he drives his son to real real depths there in that film. So
Yeah.
okay, so I am first gonna go with my Hal Jordan, who would be my obvious lead here to
Can I
play.
ask one question about Hal Jordan?
Yes,
Is the Ryan Reynolds portrayal, is that true to the character?
it's not inherently wrong. I think one of the
Okay.
things I hate, obviously, that Green Lantern movie's terrible. It's
Yeah.
god awful, and it killed any hope for Green Lantern and a lot of the DC extended universe for a long time.
Hmm.
Which is why I think it's another reason why, besides just the quality of the films, that the DCEU was not super open to getting everybody right away, was because that Green Lantern film was the first time they kind of went outside of the Batman Superman classics, and it bombed because it was god awful. I went to the midnight showing of that, and I couldn't get anyone to go with me, so Dad went with me because he felt bad for me. Like, and it was god awful.
Yeah, that movie sucks.
And it's terrible because Ryan Reynolds, I think, is actually really, really good for Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan's not as comedic as a Ryan Reynolds would probably make it, but a lot of the Hal Jordan was tailor made for a Ryan Reynolds who's trying to be just the action star. And
Okay.
he does have comedic value, but he's not a straight up comedic character. You know, he can make wisecracks and do that because he's a fighter pilot. He's inherently arrogant. You know, he's a
Okay,
test
sure.
pilot. So the thing about Hal Jordan is uh, the whole Green Lantern mythos. For those who don't know, is they try to, and I will say this in the description of the movie when we later give it as well, is especially in Rebirth moving forward, Green Lanterns have to overcome fear. That's their whole thing. Is do they have the willpower to overcome fear? That's what gives them the powers that they have. Is they have great willpower. So who on earth would theoretically, for lack of a better word, have like balls of steel that you're just like, that's ballsy, you do that. A test pilot for fighter jets, when you don't even know if they properly work or not, you're like, that guy's got some balls. Like,
Hmm.
so yes, you would have to overcome fear.
So Hal Jordan is pretty much Maverick.
Yeah, there's some Maverick to
Okay.
it there. The
Okay.
thing about Rebirth, and this is where it's going to get very comic booky, is Hal Jordan is coming back to life, sort of. Because in the mess of Green Lantern 10 to 15 years prior to Rebirth, Hal Jordan, his hometown, one of the bigger cities in the DC universe, is just decimated. in a big like comic event. It's Coast City, and it's just like flattened, and it's the last straw, and he finally kind of succumbs to fear, and that's when Parallax, this huge parasitic cosmic entity, takes over Hal Jordan, and he becomes a villain known as Parallax. So he looks like a really twisted version of a Green Lantern, and he turns evil, and he just decimates a ton of people. And then there's another cosmic event that when they first start fighting the Hal Jordan Parallax, that a bunch of people are in danger, and he ends up saving the day. And you can tell Hal Jordan's still in there somewhere, but it's like a twisted entity of the two of them. So then the Spectre, who's like the wrath of God essentially in DC, he also embodies Hal Jordan, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna cancel out Parallax. So Hal Jordan's
Hmm.
just kind of like a ghost that appears to people. And Rebirth is the story of how Hal Jordan gets both of them out, and how the entire Green Lantern Corps comes back into existence and isn't just
Okay.
a few people in the world. It's a very weird comic booky story, but makes a lot of sense if you read it. But when I read the Wikipedia of it last night just to kind of refresh my memory because I didn't have enough time to read the book, and I was like, oh wow, yeah, I forgot this is real strange. And if you just put it in sentence Wikipedia form and don't see it and don't get the words with it, you're like, this is a really weird, fucked up story.
Hmm.
But I highly recommend the book. It's awesome. So my Hal Jordan, I need that, Maverick
I
again.
see one that's popping out immediately. Denholm Elliott.
I don't know if I can get Denholm Elliott there, but Denholm Elliott will fit
Oh,
another great one.
by the way, George Harris on our character actor
Yep.
thing. This is something I learned. He's Kingsley Shacklebolt in the Harry Potter series,
Hey.
but he's also the captain in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Holy shit, that is him. That's why I always feel like, why do I know that guy's fucking face?
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, I did not know that they are the same person.
Hell yeah. I'm here for that. Hell yeah. Okay. I don't want to just play to type right away. And he's not the Hal Jordan's not like super young, but he's also not super old. My choice is for Hal Jordan right now. Because also, I'm throwing in a cameo appearance because it does happen at the end of this movie. So I'm saving my boy for a cameo appearance later. My
Okay.
choices I'm between for Hal Jordan. I see Roy Scheider. I see Chris Evans. Chris Evans was the obvious one where I was like, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
And I'm looking and I'm like, Taron Egerton, too young. And I'm not like, I think he could be another Green Lantern that I'll get to. Uh, ooh, I'll save that for later. Because I just saw Sean Bean on this list, so I'm putting Sean Bean in
Yeah.
this movie somehow. I'm gonna go with, yeah.
You could do a young Travolta, Grease Travolta.
I could.
He's
I
got
don't
some
want
comedic
to.
chops.
I don't want to though. Yeah. Let's be different. I'm gonna pick Roy Scheider. I think Roy Scheider
Okay.
can be a little bit more of that. Hal Jordan and Brody from Jaws aren't so crazy different that you couldn't see it. So if you people
Okay.
need a parallel, he is concerned about stuff, but he does have some comedic value in Jaws as well. I'm going to take Roy
Hmm.
Scheider as my Hal Jordan.
Yeah, he's a bit more of a dry comedy than a quipster.
Yeah, for people who don't get it, Green Lanterns are pretty much just space cops. It's the easiest way to put it.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
They're space cops. So go for it. All right, who you got next?
Okay, so Miss Scarlet. Miss Scarlet is young, cunning, highly attractive. She's the femme fatale.
Okay. Dude, you got some
Okay,
choices here.
there's a lot of good choices actually, because immediately Faye Dunaway's great choice.
Yep, saw that one.
Sharon Stone's a great choice.
Yeah.
Veronica Lake is another great choice.
Mm-hmm. I'm even looking down here.
Claudia Cardinal is also a good choice in
That's
terms of
not
how attractive she
that's
is.
not bad. Diana Rigg is also in that.
Oh, yes, yes.
That wouldn't be bad.
I
Um,
think.
by the way, what's the tone of this movie? Is this
Oh, it's gonna be
still
in the
comedic?
same, yeah, same tone as the original,
Okay.
where it's a very like dry British comedy more than
Because there's some
anything.
people who probably have to be in here if you're gonna yuck it up a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't think Faye Dunaway, her strength is playing comedy. So I'm actually gonna pick.
Probably not, especially if you want to see IEC Supergirl from the 80s.
Yeah, exactly, that's the one I was thinking of. Like
Yeah.
when she hams it up, she's going for it.
She's hamming it up, let me tell you.
Um, I think I'm gonna go with Veronica Lake.
Okay.
She fits very well in terms of the femme fatale.
Okay. And Veronica
Also
Lake
a
is
very underrated star back in the 40s.
okay. 40s. What is Veronica Lake most known for?
Probably Sullivan's Travels would be my guess, most people. Or I think what's it called? I Married a Witch. I think that's the title of
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've only seen a couple of her movies, but she's like charismatic as hell.
Okay. That's very fair. I'm gonna go to my female lead, which is Carol Ferris. Carol's not in this a ton, but very important moving forward if you're going to franchise this. And I would obviously write this part a lot more if I were writing this because some of these guys like I don't need a ton of these Green Lantern. I don't need a ton of screen time for all of
What's
them.
the uh, who did you say she turns into?
Star Sapphire,
What's like a one sentence rundown of who that is?
the Green Lantern willpower, like the. I'm going to give you as a paragraph, but I'm going to try to do it very quickly. There is an emotional spectrum that powers the Green Lanterns, but it also powers all the other Lantern Corps. So eventually there becomes 9 Lantern Corps throughout the universe. There's 7 that like operate based off an emotion, and then there's one that's white, that's all light and life essentially, and some characters are reborn, and then there's the Black Lanterns are death zombies and they're awesome.
Hmm,
Star Sapphire is love essentially, which makes them very overpowered and can be a little bit impetuous, but at the same time very much. Because Star Sapphire first starts as a character who takes over Carol Ferris in like a negative way, where she almost unwillingly changes into Star Sapphire and like more of her wild desires come out and she's just
okay.
but then over time she learns how to master that and she becomes a great hero because of it and she leads the Violet Core.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's very
Who's the girl in Teen Titans?
Raven.
No, no, the other one.
Oh, Starfire. My apologies.
Starfire.
So
Okay.
it's yeah,
I knew it was close, but
it's not Starfire. It's Star Sapphire. It's
okay.
it's if we had a Teen Titans in this universe, it'd be problematic. Which also in the book you get the Justice League, the Teen Titans, and a bunch of other stuff all appearing, which is interesting, but it doesn't work out. But they make cameos, which is fun. So I need someone who can play brave, can be a hero, but also like Carol Ferris. She's technically Hal's boss because her dad owns the Ferris Air Corp company that he works for that tests
Okay.
the airplanes. But that eventually that's just kind of like she owns Ferris Air, and that's how it is. So I need someone who has a presence and can be a hero. I have like an obvious choice is obviously the first on the list, just because we know she can do action, we know she can do stuff.
Hmm.
But I also want to keep that available if I want to stay in her DC place because she does a good job with it. What I'm talking about is Margot Robbie. Oh God, this is tough. I should have just went with somebody else right away. You know what? I think she's a better ensemble player than she is as a star, and Green Lantern is obviously an ensemble piece. I see Emilia Clarke working there. I think that could work. But does it work with Roy Scheider? That's the tough part.
I'm gonna guess no.
So, like, who do you think works with Roy Scheider? That's the problem. Because if I would have went Chris Evans, it would have been like, whatever, it's close enough.
I would say I think Faye Dunaway.
Faye Dunaway could work.
If she's not an inherently funny character, I think Faye Dunaway is
She
good.
can be quippy, but it's much more like cutting people than it is, you know, like, oh, I'm just outwardly making jokes.
Okay. Jane Fonda, maybe.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna go Jane
I,
Fonda. I'm gonna go Jane Fonda right away. It works.
okay. I was gonna say Goldie Hawn if it's a comedic role would be great.
Yeah, I mean, it's not comedic enough for me to say I gotta have Goldie Hawn.
Okay.
Goldie Hawn was a standby though. Goldie Hawn, like I like how every time we do this, there's an actor on the list that I'm like standby. Just it might work, so let's go with it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Alrighty, take us to your next pick.
Okay. So next on the list, Mrs. White.
All right, Mrs. White.
Yes.
Okay.
And Mrs. White in this iteration is a frazzled servant. She's jealous. She's a two-faced servant who smiles politely when serving guests while giving hateful sneers behind their backs.
Nice.
So, and this is I didn't write down an age, but I'm thinking, 60,
Yeah, it's the
70.
classic from the iteration we had as kids. She's a '60s.
Yes,
She's in her
yes,
'60s and she's a maid.
yes. So, whew, I want someone who's got some bite to it.
Ellen Burstyn could do that.
I think Ellen Burstyn, Maggie Smith,
Do you want to use
Diana
Meg?
Rigg, an older Diana Rigg would work well too.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go.
because the thing is, do you want to use Maggie Smith in a role like that, or do you want to get a young Maggie Smith? Who you're like, that's the dame. Come on now, that's the dame.
I don't know where else she's gonna fit. That's the problem.
Fair.
I think.
I like how you're like, I'm getting her in this movie. I don't know how, but I'm getting her in this movie.
I think I'm gonna go Maggie Smith here.
Okay, Maggie Smith is Mrs. White. McGonagall aged, it works.
Yes, yes, and that's a good complete opposite to what she normally plays.
Right,
Like her character, I haven't seen the show, but I know of her character in Downton Abbey is like, the aristocrat.
right.
So
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Okay. Alrighty. I'm gonna go to Sinestro, who's gonna be my biggest recurring villain. He's not the biggest villain in this. Parallax is the biggest villain in it, but recurring villain. My only question: do I break the universal rule of movies that Sean Bean has to die? Because if he doesn't have to die, Sean Bean could be my biggest recurring villain, and that could be
hey,
fun.
he didn't die in Silent Hill.
That's true. He didn't die in Silent Hill. Maybe if he would have died, that movie would have been better.
Maybe.
Which, by the way, I should have a review. By the time this one is recorded, I should have a review. If you were listening to this and not on stream, you're listening to this post, I should have a review of Return to Silent Hill out. But that's all dependent on schedule. It should be out, so just double
Yeah.
check.
Is that a video game
No, it's a
or a
movie.
movie?
That's why we're doing. That's
Okay.
why we did the 20th anniversary of Silent
Okay.
Hill because the new one's coming out. Or it's out by now if you're listening to this post. So, do I break the universal rule that Sean Bean has to die? Because I also see in my character actor as a great
There's a lot
choice.
of there's a lot of good you know, villainous people on this list.
Yes. The question is, what kind of villain do I want? And I think Sean
Yeah.
Bean fit because the thing is, Sean Bean can be physical. Because when I look at it, like all due respect to Gene Hackman, I don't see him as a physical villain. I see him as more of a maniacal.
You'd have to pick a
Over
younger Gene Hackman, like French Connection Gene Hackman.
right. James Caan. I see him more as that villainous CEO type. I don't see him as a villainous like
If you pick like the Godfather, the first one, where he's just like a complete
prick. Yeah,
lunatic,
yeah.
yeah,
Sonny sucks. Like Sonny's
yeah,
fun, but Sonny sucks.
he's a loose cannon.
He's a loose cannon. Uh, do I go Battlefield Earth era John Travolta because that's the biggest villain in film history? That's a joke, by the way. Vin Diesel, if he could do it. Nah. Henry
That's the one
Tom.
person who I know is not going to be in my movie. Is Vin Diesel.
Yeah, it's fair. Paul Dano, but do I see Paul Dano as that villain? That's the question.
He doesn't really have a physical side to him.
No. That's why he's perfect for the Riddler.
Timothy Dalton,
I know, but
Timothy Dalton doesn't really play villainous, at least not that I've seen.
the last time, what's the movie? Hot Fuzz? That's when he's the villain uh,
Is he a
against.
villain in that?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember as he's like the police chief.
Yeah, he
But
turns out to be a villain in that one. Spoilers
okay,
for
I
Hot
don't.
Fuzz from 20 years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen it once a
I
long time
I
ago.
just I love that movie because I do love that pairing. And then all of a sudden Timothy Dalton's and I was like, no fucking way, Timothy Dalton, because I lose my shit every time I see Timothy Dalton on screen.
Hey, you always got Denholm Elliott.
I got a place for Denholm Elliott, so
Oh, nice.
I got a place for him. So I have to fight an urge to get it, but I can do it. I can do it. So I need a villain. For Sinestro, it's too good to pass up. I'm taking Sean Bean. This is an ensemble. I'm
Nice.
breaking the universal rules. Because the other thing is, Sinestro does play anti-hero sometimes, where they
What
have to work
um,
together as well.
what era
So,
are we talking? Boromir, Goldeneye,
yeah, I go Boromir.
Game of Thrones.
Not Game of Thrones. That's too old.
Okay,
Right before Silent Hill, Lord of the Rings era,
okay.
Sean Bean. Yeah.
I would say that's Sean Bean's prime.
Mike Ittner's favorite actor, Sean Bean.
Yeah. All right. Next on my list, we got Mr. Green.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Green in this variation is a greedy, conniving aristocrat
Yep.
who never lets the chance slip away to make a quick buck.
Love that. That's comedic
So
gold.
we just slime ball here.
There's a lot of choices for slime ball on this list.
Yes. Now, one thing that I think could be super fun is doing a kind of like out of character type of person.
Yeah.
So maybe Gene Wilder. He doesn't
Yeah.
play that often.
Yeah. Gene Wilder would be fun in that role.
Yeah. Um,
But also Gene Wilder could fit a lot of roles in this era.
it's true. I
It,
think Timothy Dalton actually would fit here too.
yep. The question
Um,
is I want to see how you because how many male parts do you have left? You have Professor Plum, Dr.
I got
Black, and who else?
I got
Wadsworth.
Wadsworth, Mr. Green, Professor Plum, and Monsieur Brunette.
Monsieur Brunette. Okay. With that
Um,
pencil mustache that Timothy Dalton's sporting in Hot Fuzz, that's Monsieur Brunette if I've ever seen it. Let me tell you.
I'm gonna go. Uh, I'm gonna save Gene Wilder. I think I'm gonna go Ronnie Cox.
Okay.
He's a good villain. He's a good at playing an evil businessman in RoboCop. That's a complete asshole.
I
So I'm gonna go Ronnie
don't even
Cox.
know who Ronnie Cox is. So,
Have you seen RoboCop?
which one?
The first one.
Yes, I
He's
think
like the
so.
main villain in that.
Okay.
If you saw him, you would know him. Trust me.
Okay. Also, Kurtwood Smith of RoboCop fame available.
Yes, true.
Also, Mr. Green could have been real fun. Kurtwood Smith. Just saying. Just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Uh, I don't think he fits the slime ball enough.
So I want to put it in here since I have more picks than you. You got to find a cameo appearance for him somehow. If you don't use him, you got to get him in somehow.
Kurtwood?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he'll be. I'll find something for him.
Because I got cameos to do, so you got to do that one. Okay, I'm gonna go to Jon Stewart, who a problem with this list for that is not many actors of color available on today's list, but it does work for what I'm looking for. And Shackley kind of works for my Jon Stewart. So I'm gonna go George Harris, but I'm gonna take Captain Katanga era
Yes,
George
a
Harris.
young.
Younger. He doesn't have to be super young, but I want doesn't have to be that young, but that era of George Harris I will take for my Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart's the one that the biggest discussion when you talk about Green Lantern being made into film is what Green Lantern do you go with? And most
Yeah.
people always say go with Jon Stewart because that's what a generation has grown up with in the Justice League cartoons.
Mhm.
And then immediately you have a character of color. But that being said,
Trying to find something you would know Ronnie Cox from. Total Recall?
I haven't.
Do you like Total Recall?
That's one of
Okay.
the few Arnold movies that I never go back and rewatch. I watched it once and I'm like, whatever.
I honestly don't remember who he plays in Total Recall.
I'm
Um,
assuming another slime ball.
Cohagen. Honestly, don't know.
Yeah, no idea. All right, take us to your next
Okay,
pick here.
let's see. We got next on the list is Mrs. Peacock. Mrs. Peacock in this iteration is the Grand Dame,
Oh,
elegant socialite with a dark widow-esque aesthetic.
okay. You got choices.
So, I think this is where I'm gonna pick Diana Rigg.
Okay. I like how I said Diana Rigg, and now it's just been stuck in your head. You got to get Diana Rigg in
Well,
there.
Diana Rigg is great. Like, she's always been great,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
Um, because I'm thinking Mrs. Peacock is not gonna be like an old person.
Okay,
I'm thinking like 50s, 40s, 50s in there.
okay.
Well, that's not true. Grand Dame, that's more of an older.
That's why she's portrayed the way she is by Eileen Brennan or Eileen Brenner. It's very much that older.
I'm going Diana Rigg
All
here.
right, Diana Rigg it is.
And it's gonna be um just a little bit before Game of Thrones, so a little bit younger than she is in Game of Thrones.
Okay. I like how this movie is not for young people whatsoever.
Definitely not. So far, no.
A
I
lot
mean,
of
technically speaking, you could say that about the first clue,
yeah, but at least there's some actors of the time, I guess.
but there's no draw for young people.
Yeah, that's true. Outside of Christopher Lloyd, just because Back to the Future just showed up, but yeah, there's not a lot
Yeah.
of like young characters in that either. Okay, my next one, I'm going to go with the character, oddly, that most people might now be associated with in Green Lantern is Guy Gardner. Just a bit of a prick. He's not far off, and he's not as dumb as they make him out to be in the new Superman movie.
Mhm.
But the attitude's pretty accurate when you first meet Guy Gardner. However, Guy definitely gets better, and a lot of people come to love Guy Gardner in the comic renditions. And
Is that haircut accurate?
yes, actually, and then
Okay.
eventually he gets to be a lot better haircut. It's hilarious because you're like, did you? So they always ask this question. I remember this on Fat Man on Batman, which is a podcast that Kevin Smith does, and I used to listen to it all the time because it used to be very heavily just the comics or
Mhm.
just very much Batman creators. And they talked about Neil Adams was on, who did so much the iconic late '60s to '70s look of DC Comics. People know his artwork without knowing it. You've seen Neil Adams' rendition of these characters, and he talks about Guy Gardner because he created the Jon Stewart rendition. He's just like man without fear. Man, that's always what I kept going. He has to combat fear. He's like Hal Jordan, makes sense. test pilot. You don't even know if those planes are going to work. That guy makes sense as to why he has to combat fear. Guy Gardner's initial uh, character is he's a gym teacher. And he's like, what the fuck
Okay.
about a gym teacher dick says he can overcome fear? He's like, what does that see? Because that's like when he creates John Stewart. John Stewart has a military background as a sniper and everything else. Very serious architect type. It's a good yin to the yang of the more loose and free caring Hal Jordan, so that's why it works really well. He's like, how the fuck does Guy Gardner constitute that character? But
Hmm.
it's just more. It's been they've baked it so that Guy Gardner's a lot more fun nowadays. So the question is, who do I pick? There's a good comedic one in Dan Fogler, but I don't think Dan Fogler could ever get in shape to play Guy Gardner. So, which
He's not in terrible shape in Fantastic Beasts.
no, he's not. But that's still not. That's not like Guy Gardner is the most classically built of them
Oh, okay,
because he's
okay.
like he's kind of a meathead.
So Vin Diesel.
Honestly, I'm gonna go with Chris Evans here because Chris Evans
Okay,
does have an inherent likability. Deadpool and Wolverine s Chris Evans when he comes back as spoilers as Johnny Storm
okay,
for a cameo. Think of that era of Chris Evans. I'm gonna go Chris Evans as my Guy Gardner
okay.
because the other thing is Chris Evans, great auxiliary piece to work with when you want to get the whole ensemble together. But then if you want to do a Green Lantern core movie outside of Hal Jordan, be a great leading person for that. So
Hmm.
I'll go Chris Evans.
Okay, next on my list, we got Professor Plum.
Alrighty.
He's the intellectual. He's a respectable archaeologist seeking funding.
Archaeologist. That's interesting. Okay.
And this is where I'm putting Gene Wilder.
All right. Yeah, that's got to be it.
It's too easy.
I mean,
Gene
hell.
Wilder had Gene Wilder had to be in it. Like literally one of the most likable actors of all time.
Oh god, Gene Wilder's great. You just also already looks really good in purple
True. Yes.
with Willy
And he
Wonka.
is going to be dressed in purple, let me tell
I
you.
was gonna say I was gonna say before the end of this episode, I was gonna make you confirm that they are wearing the
Yes.
colors.
We're not missing that chance like the original Clue did.
However, Mrs. Peacock, what are you doing there? Are you going with a blue because no one else is really blue, or are you going with more of a the feathered, elegant look?
I
That's
think we're
the
going to
only
go,
one that I was kind of like, it doesn't have a direct color.
yeah. I think it's just going to be kind of like in the original,
Or
where
you
it's
could do
much
that
more of
really
a,
elegant, deep royal navy color as like a base dress, and then you could have more of the accents like a true peacock would. That could work.
yeah.
So I like how Clue is quickly becoming. If you and I ever actually got to the point to be real players in Hollywood, Clue might be the one thing that I could talk you into being like, let's make Clue, and you'd be like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, but apparently they're doing a remake.
Are they? They say it
Apparently
all the time.
apparently Netflix is making one, but it's like
God.
it's there's some weird thing about it. I can't remember exactly. Like for some reason, I want to say it was like choose your own adventure,
I
but
think that's a really smart idea if you're going to do a choose your own adventure series.
Clue. Let me look this up.
I mean, if you're going to
Netflix.
say it, it's true.
An unscripted competition series based on the classic board game Clue.
Then that's not
Yeah.
even a true movie. So that's fine.
So contestants solve a murder mystery by completing physical and mental challenges.
Hell yeah.
I don't think that's going to be good, but
Probably not. You got to outrun the Dobermans that were outside the observatory. Eh.
yeah, they do portray dogs to be kind of mean. So
Yes, yes, they do. Okay, I'm gonna go with a Kyle Rayner, who is the at the time of Green Lantern Rebirth is the most recent Green Lantern, not anymore. But Kyle's a really well beloved Green Lantern. He's an artist, so it's really interesting is when they do the constructs of Green Lantern. where they always make something out of their mind to get the things done, is you'll see Kyle actually is like sketching like an artist the constructs. So he's like, "Oh, I need a drill for this." He's like, "Oh, I don't really like this piece though." So it's almost as if you can see his artist brain thinking as he's making these constructs to constantly refine it, which I think is a really interesting choice and would be a good character move there. And with that, that's where I'm going to put Paul Dano in. I'm going to give him a hero role,
I think
little,
that fits.
and could be fun as more of the understated. He's always brave. He's always doing what he needs to do, but he's not the outward physical threat that the other guys are
Sure.
in the Green Lantern Corps, and I think that's fun. So I'm going to go Paul Dano here as my Kyle Rayner.
Okay. Next on my list, we got Madame Rose.
Okay.
She's a fortune teller. She holds seances and connects with spirits. Dot dot dot. Or can she?
Also, this is where had they had that in the original, Madeline Kahn would have been so good for
Yeah.
that.
See, Madeline Kahn is one where I'm like, if she was on this list, she'd be in it somehow.
Oh, you gotta have Madeline Kahn in somehow.
Okay, so we're kind of going. She's a bit of a huckster,
Okay.
fortune teller. Okay, I think Margot Robbie could be really fun in that role.
Yeah. Goldie Hawn could do really well with that.
Goldie Hawn. Yeah, my choices are pretty much Goldie Hawn,
Maya
Margot
Rudolph could
Robbie.
also do that really well.
Or, yeah, that's not bad actually. What else do I got? Let's
Or
see.
Alice and Janney would be great for that role, dude. In your character actors,
Oh, totally forgot about character actors.
that would be really good.
Um, I do
I
think Allison Janney definitely has more comedic chops than.
Anybody on this list? Yes.
Eh, I'm gonna go. It's Allison Janney or Goldie Hawn. I'm gonna go Goldie Hawn. I think.
Okay. For Madame Rose, that's fun. So you're
Yes.
saying she's a fraud,
Or is she?
or is she? I love the idea of her almost revealing she's a fraud, and then something like the chandelier falls or something after, and all of a sudden everyone's like, and then she's it's like no fucking way, and she's just like, it worked.
Apparently, she holds seances. So at some point, there's gonna be a seance in my movie.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun. All I'm saying is Allison Janney would be perfect for an ensemble cast like this. Like that'd be
Yeah,
God. I The more I see Allison Janney, the more I'm just like,
my movie also is definitely gonna be a period piece, like the original.
yeah, yeah, of course, of course. Alrighty, I'm gonna go to Kilowog now, who's more of a monster, so I don't need a true actor. I need a voice, and I'm gonna take Jared Harris in this role. Although I did love the idea of a comedic. He's not comedic, but he's more like the drill sergeant. He's Kilowog is best as the. He's the one who trains up the new recruits. That's who Kilowog is. And I
Okay.
kind of love Gene Hackman in that role, but I love the idea of Gene Hackman literally just coming in to do a voice of a big pink alien, like badass. But I was like,
hmm
no, let's go with Jared Harris. Let's have some fun there. Because there's,
We just talked about his dad in Sorcerer's Stone.
yes, we did.
Okay.
I
I
really
like
do.
Jared Harris.
I do too.
He's really underrated.
Well, remind me, what has Jared Harris all done that people would know?
He was Moriarty,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
yeah.
I mean, probably the biggest thing he's been in is
I
Chernobyl.
was gonna say I love him in Chernobyl. He is so good in Chernobyl.
Yeah, he's also in is it Lincoln? He plays Grant. I'm pretty sure it's in Lincoln.
I would assume it's in Lincoln. What other fucking movies have Ulysses S. Grant in it?
I don't know.
Exactly.
But yeah, I really like him as an actor.
I think Jared Harris is phenomenal. And I just like how his voice in general can do so many different things. in a really
Yeah,
fun way. And I kind of love that 4 kilowog being like, "Oh, really?" And then you're like, "No, get a big booming yelling Jared Harris and then
yeah,
put him behind this. That'd be really fun." But then also other stuff because Jared Harris could play so many different roles in a cosmic universal story where you can just put him behind a CGI character, and that'd be really fun. So I'm gonna take Kilowog for that one.
okay. Next on my list, we got Monsieur Brunette. He's a foreign con artist, has an inept ability at being genuine. So cannot be genuine at all, and he's a con artist. Oh, actually, Gene Wilder would have been good here too.
Gene
Shoot.
Wilder because oh, he can't be genuine. That's really tough to play. Could Paul
Uh,
Dano do that?
I was thinking Paul Dano or Dan Fogler.
Dan Vogler would be fun because you're just like, dude, we get it. We know you're not that guy.
Yeah.
I love the idea of him trying to be like the ladies' man, like the Professor Plum that um, Christopher Lloyd plays.
Uh-huh.
I kind of love him in that role, and just being like, we all know you're full of shit. Like we all know you are
Yeah.
just so full of shit.
Let me just make sure on my character actors here. Jason Isaacs, nah, he doesn't fit. He's too
He's
villainous.
too villainous.
I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go Dan Fogler.
Oh wow, the youngest cast member by far in this
Yeah.
movie. All right,
See, also, I would love to put Travolta in there too. I'll go Dan Fogler.
Travolta could work in that role. He really could.
I think he's a little bit too charismatic.
I think that's what you need in that role, though, because and I'm not trying to take away Dan Fogler because I think that choice is funny and like in a good way for that. But I love the idea of the con man. The only reason he thinks he can be a good con man is really stupid people fall for it because he has a natural charisma. But smart people that would be like possible conniving murderers would be like they'd see right through it. And so I love the idea of
Yeah.
Travolta being like Danny Zuko esque ladies man, and then all the like really intelligent women are like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like we all know you're full of shit. Like we
You know
all know
what?
that.
I'm actually gonna call an audible.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Gene Wilder as Monsieur Brunette, so my con
Wow.
artist,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna switch Professor Plum to Michael Keaton.
Ooh, okay.
Michael Keaton is the intellectual, respectable archaeologist seeking funding.
He's your version of 85's Mr. Green, where you're always rooting for Mr. Green.
Yeah. Plus, I do think Keaton's pretty good at playing dry comedy.
Keaton's good at all comedy in general, though. Keaton's so good at everything that he does in that. Or I like him as the his pseudo comeback in the other guys. He's by far the highlight of that movie, where he's like the captain of the police and he's working at Bed Bath and Beyond and shit. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I love that in rendition. Okay, Ganthet. Ganthet is a little blue alien who is the guardians of the universe. They're these big egghead brain like super geniuses that rule over the Green Lantern Corps and guide it. And that is where I'm going with Denholm Elliott. You need some warmth in Ganthet, but
Nice.
Ganthet also needs to have I don't want to say a ruthless streak, but he needs to have somewhat of a mean streak as well, where it's just no, you're not thinking of everything I need you to think of. And I think Denholm Elliott can do that, but there still has to be a likability to it. So I'm gonna go Denholm Elliott as my Ganthet.
Okay. Is that voice only or is that a real?
You could put his face on Ganthet, but
Yeah.
it's going to be generally voice only. Think of it like how they put Ruffalo's face on Hulk.
Okay, sure.
Like that's be the way to do that.
Okay. Okay, so next is Miss Peach. Miss Peach is the Southern Belle. She
Ooh.
manipulates others using her sweet, innocent charm.
Oh, had I known Miss Peach, that's where I would have put your Madame Rose pick. But
Goldie Hawn.
yeah,
She would be good at that. Yeah. There's quite a few actors actually. I think Veronica Lake would also fit here. Um,
Southern
and
Belle with a lot of charm. What else was the part of that description, or was that it?
uh, manipulates others using her sweet, innocent charm, and she's the Southern Belle.
We just talked about someone who could do that really well.
Mm. I'm I'm thinking
The other one, there's another choice
well,
on here.
there's one person who I really want to fit in here, which is Donna Reed, because she's literally one of my favorite actresses of all time, and I think she's amazing.
Does she fit in what you're asking her
But
to do, then?
she does fit a sweet innocence. Hmm.
But can she have the backstabbing portion? That clearly
Yeah,
is.
exactly. Uh, you know what? I'm actually gonna go Margot Robbie here.
Really? Okay.
I think she could have some fun doing like on the surface, very sweet, very charming, but then underneath, she's really just an asshole.
Yeah. Well, that's why I thought I could talk you into Alice and Janney. Alice and Janney would do really well with that. I think Alice and Janney would do well in anything. I just
I don't think she's like sweet enough. I think she's got too much of a hard edge.
think of, well, you haven't watched much of it, The West Wing. When
Yeah,
CJ
I
needs to
haven't seen it.
when CJ needs to play nice, she can play nice really well. But then
Okay.
she's got a bite because she always has this like undercurrent of humor that I think a Southern Belle can have, where they because they have such a sweet portrayal. If you actually listen to a lot of the Southern Belle portrayals throughout history, there's a lot of like that's a shitty thing to say, but because they have such a sweet demeanor, everyone's like, I don't think they meant it like that. I don't think that, and then you realize you're like, oh no, they're just a cutting bitch. Like,
See that I think Margot Robbie could do that.
right. The other one I thought of that could do that really well is actually Isla Fisher, which is
Yeah.
that
Isla
could
Fisher, I almost put as my um Miss Scarlet.
okay be an interesting one.
She is like she can play like sultry
Yeah,
if she wants.
absolutely, she
But
could.
yeah, I'm gonna go Margot Robbie. I think she fits more in well with the dry humor also.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, so now I need my big bad of this movie, and would be recurring, but is more of a cosmic entity. So I really just need a voice actor, and that is Parallax. Parallax is all evil. It is the embodiment of fear in the universe, which is why, talking about the emotional spectrum of colors, those that are really deep nerds of Green Lantern. Green Lantern back in the day, until the Rebirth era, their powers were useless against the color yellow, which is really obviously crazy, stupid comic booky thing, but it's
Hmm.
because it's the embodiment of fear. So it's making sense of why that never worked. And Parallax secretly was imprisoned in the great central power battery that powers all their Green Lanterns, which is why they always have that imperfection. Is because the literal embodiment of fear is in their power battery that gives them power.
Have you ever heard of Super Ego? It's like a comedy group.
Maybe I
They were
can't
like
remember.
one of the first podcasts of all time. Um, they do a skit where it's just audio. There's no visuals at all.
Okay.
But what's it called? The Injustice League, like that old like group of
Yeah, yeah,
villains.
yeah.
Yeah,
The Injustice League, the Injustice Gang. Yeah.
they talk about how they're gonna defeat the Green Lantern, and the way they say is the Yellow Pages. It's actually real. I should send you it. It's great. Like there's so many like deep cut villains and stuff in it,
it's that's fun.
and just made up ones.
But I need just an evil, nasty piece of shit here, and that's where we're going with our boy Jason Isaacs as the voice of Parallax.
I like that. Yeah, he's very good at playing an asshole,
Yes, he
which is funny
is.
because he is like really nice,
He's
seemingly at least.
that's I mean that's been a thing throughout history. Honestly, in entertainment, is some of the best heels of all time are the nicest people. They're the
Yeah,
people
that's
that
true.
play it well. It's the same thing when they talk about in pro wrestling all the time. The guys behind the scenes, the people that you're like, oh my god, what a nasty, horrible, terrible villain. Those are the people everyone's like, that's the nicest guy in the world, man. But he
Yeah.
just plays a heel really well. Like those people are either they're just super nasty because they are nasty people and it's just their natural personality coming out, or they're like the nicest people on the planet. It's
Hmm.
always how it works. So that's why I'm going to go Jason Isaacs because Parallax almost looks like a weird cross of a dragon, a lizard, and a bug. It's really strange. So to just
Okay.
voice that, get Jason Isaacs there. And
Is he in the Green Lantern movie?
Parallax, yeah, he's
Yeah.
the giant poop cloud.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just needed to make sure.
Yet another really stupid rendition of what was with Hollywood and comic book movies and the giant poop cloud. Galactus was a giant poop cloud. Parallax was certainly a giant poop cloud. What the fuck is with the giant poop cloud?
Yeah. Oh, I finally saw Fantastic Four, the new one.
How'd you like it?
I like Galactus. He was cool.
Galactus, yeah, I mean, a good voice for Galactus.
It
Galactus
was
is
fine.
fine. It was fine.
I That movie's fine.
Yeah, I
It was
that's how
whatever.
it's fine. That's how I would argue that one.
Okay, so I got two characters left to cast. I got Wadsworth
Okay.
and I got Mr. Body.
Slash
Both of them,
Doctor Black.
yes. Both of them are the least described in my little rundown.
It's fair.
Wadsworth I describe as dry humor, and I just put trustworthy question mark. And then
Remember, you have
Do-
a wild card pick. Remember, you have a wild card pick.
yeah, but I don't know if I want to do one on this one. Um,
All I'm saying
oh,
is you could literally just do one for one and be done with it
yeah,
and it'd
I
be
know.
excellent. It'd be excellent.
Um, my Mr. Body slash Doctor Black. Ooh, I think there's a couple choices here that could be really good. I think Jared Harris would be good.
What is your rendition of Doctor Black slash Mr. Body? Like what is the
He's
description?
just the mysterious host,
The mysterious host. Okay.
so you're never quite sure about him. I'm thinking Jared Harris, Sean Bean, or
Timothy.
Timothy
I
Dalton.
was gonna say Timothy Dalton. Cool in that role. Actually, I think you should go with Alec Guinness could be fun.
I've never seen him do comedy ever.
No, I know.
I'm sure he did at least some time in his
Almost all
career.
British actors have done some have done some
Yeah.
comedy.
Um,
That's the craziest part. Alec Guinness is on this list, and I was like, I don't even know how I put Alec Guinness in. I thought about Ganthet, but I also was like, oh, Martin Sheen could be a cool Ganthet. But then I was like, Denholm Elliott. I gotta use Denholm Elliott.
the other one, if I want to go a little more skeezy, I could do David Bradley on our character actors,
Sure.
who's he's Filch in the
Yep.
Harry Potter series.
That's too. That's too obviously a villain.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to have someone who you don't know.
I think Sean Bean actually isn't super good at playing comedy.
No.
So I think I am gonna go Timothy Dalton or Jared Harris. Yay, I want to throw him a bone. He hasn't had much. I'm gonna give Timothy Dalton.
Hell yeah. Well, I remember. Do you remember when I turned you on to AMC Movie Talk back in the day?
Yeah,
That was always one of my favorite things I ever heard was John Campia always said if he was like fan casting when they would occasionally just talk about fan casting. He's like, I don't understand why no one has ever tried to get Timothy Dalton to play Alfred. Like he'd be perfect for Alfred because Alfred is more of like he has a
yeah,
military background, but Timothy Dalton does have a warm likability to him that Alfred needs to have.
yeah.
But if you're
Could have
having
been instead of like Jeremy Irons, he could have
yeah,
hit that really
I
well.
would have lost my shit if Timothy Dalton was Alfred. That would have been so cool.
I
So
just don't think he's old enough.
I mean, he certainly is now.
Now he is, yes.
I mean, he was back then too. Like, not like
That was 10
obviously.
years ago.
I mean, still, he was still old enough to be Alfred. Alfred doesn't have to be like fucking 80.
Yeah, I guess. I'm just used to the
Michael Goff, Michael Caine.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm used to the elderly butler.
I can tell. Alrighty. I gotta have a Spectre who's the voice of the Wrath of God. That's funny.
It's a voice.
So it has a physical embodiment, but no one has that embodiment to them.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Martin Sheen in that role because the Spectre does not inherently have to be all vengeance, but he is the vengeful spirit of God.
Are we
So
talking West Wing? Are we talking
I'm talking.
Apocalypse Now?
I'm talking West Wing. Very
Okay.
much
So
that.
middle age
Yes, I want that middle-aged
Martin
Martin
Sheen.
Sheen. Yeah.
Okay. I got Wadsworth and that's it.
Okay.
And the thing about it is, I don't know if there's a great fit actually on the list we have.
That's what I told you. How about some Denholm Elliott?
That's what I was thinking. Like, he is like a good.
okay. Well,
Mm,
let's just go through. Who do you have left to pick? Eisenberg, I don't think's there.
nah.
Too young.
Jared Harris, maybe.
But that's. I think
I
there's too
don't
much
think he's.
gravitas for that.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he has enough of the dry humor.
Because
He definitely
honestly,
fits in with like the questionable trustworthiness.
the one that honestly works, you already used. It's Gene Wilder. Gene Wilder would have been perfect for Wadsworth.
Yeah, but I wanted him as one of the main.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Wadsworth. Are you doing this like Wadsworth is going to drive the story forward like he does in
No, I don't
'85?
think so.
Okay, that's your
I
big
think this
thing.
is going to be a more traditional murder mystery.
Okay,
Um,
you could go with Chris Evans. He has comedic chops. Can do some stuff.
uh, I don't think he fits well with a dry humor though. He is funny, but I feel like he's more funny. I don't know.
How about a
I
George
just
Harris? Dry, straight to the point. Could work. Nothing's better than Denholm Elliott. I want to make that very clear. I'm just trying to help you out with this casting process.
yeah. But I just go one for one.
Goddamn right you should. Use your
Okay,
wild card pick. Use your
I'll
wild card.
use it.
Yes! Yes! We've done it. So, would you like to make it official now?
What do you mean?
Well, what's your wild card pick? Yeah, let's officially state it.
Oh, yeah. So I guess Wadsworth is going to be played by Tim Curry.
Yeah!
I'm going to say straight from the original. So like
Yes.
literally the same age, the
Off the
same
set. He
everything.
literally goes off the set as Wadsworth and goes onto the set of this Wadsworth.
Yes, yes.
So, not on the list. That's your one wild card pick.
Now all I'm looking for is a director.
Are you going to question in this idea in your head of what Clue is? Which, by the way, this would be a fun thing for you to write because we could do it as a podcast project.
I'm not great at writing murder mysteries, I've found out.
We could try it. We could try it. You've written other stuff that's very good, Dylan. So we could try doing that and getting some people to voice these characters could be fun.
Yeah, we'll see.
Are you going to have, like the '85 rendition? Are you going to have any other people in this, like the singing telegram girl, the
Oh, there'll definitely be
motorist?
little. There's going to be little bit parts
That's what
because
I'm saying. Do you want to cast
we
like
need
three bit
we need
parts because I got two
victims.
big parts and stuff?
Yeah, we need victims in this.
Okay, so just give me a quick rundown of some villains because I have like three more picks that I have to do.
So I do think I am going to stick with Mr. Body being one of the victims.
Oh wow, getting Timothy Dalton out quick. God damn.
I don't think he's going to be the first person killed, like
All right.
in the original. but he's definitely going to be one of them.
I like the idea of Timothy Dalton getting to shine for like the first act and just being like
Yeah.
really the lead, and then just gets and everyone's like, "What the fuck happened?"
Um, okay, so a couple of people who could do little cameo bit parts.
Well, you think about that. I'll cast, and then we'll keep going
Okay.
because I got some. All right, I need an Oliver Queen who is Green Arrow. Oh God, there's not really any great choices here. Oh boy, this is tough. This is tough. I also Green Lantern or Green Arrow also has like a super liberal streak, which I love about him.
This is where I saw Chris Evans.
Yeah, that's the problem. I had to use Chris Evans already for Guy Gardner. So,
Yeah. How
uh,
about E.T. era Henry Thomas?
has Henry Thomas done anything after ET?
Yes, he's amazing now. He's in
Was
all the like Haunting of Hill House.
is he? I've never
Yeah.
seen his work past ET.
Oh, he's fantastic in that. I can't remember the guy. Mike Flanagan, I think, is the showrunner.
Okay.
He uses the same stable of actors for everything,
Okay.
and Henry Thomas is one of his,
You know what?
and he's fantastic.
Let's go Henry Thomas just to have some fun.
Okay, so this is going to be this is in Henry Thomas's kind of a blank period
Yeah.
where it really wasn't working,
Yeah.
like 2030 ish.
Because how old is Henry Thomas now? Is 50s,
Yeah, he's got to be
60s?
late 40s, 50s.
Because how old was he when he did ET?
8 would be my
Okay,
guess.
so 8, and that movie was 40. We're going on 45 years of ET. So yeah, he's in his mid 50s.
Okay, yeah, yeah, that sounds about
Holy
right.
shit. God damn. Yeah, I guess I'll go Henry Thomas. I literally don't have anyone else to do. Actually, you know
Okay.
what? Fuck that. I do. Because Oliver Queen is also an industrialist, but he's super liberal streak, and I can just make him a fun James Bond with a liberal streak. I'm going Timothy Dalton.
There you go. Yeah, he can do action.
Timothy Dalton, they tried to make a little bit more of a tougher Bond.
Well, he was like the proto Daniel Craig, pretty much.
Timothy Dalton walks so Daniel Craig and Pierce Brosnan could run.
Yes.
They had to figure that out, and they didn't quite figure it out when Timothy Dalton was Bond.
They definitely did not figure it out.
Because
Even though I do like him in Living Daylights
Living
a
Daylights is
lot.
great, but License to Kill.
Yeah, that
Woof.
movie's rough.
Well, woof.
Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna spit out a couple people who are gonna be cameo death.
Okay. And
This is where I'm
what kind of part are they playing?
I don't know, we'll figure that out later.
Okay.
This is where I'm gonna put Martin Sheen as one.
Cameo Martin Sheen.
Maybe like a butler or some kind of service person in the
Somebody's
house.
driver. Somebody's driver.
Yeah. Um
Here, you think I got two more to cast, so
I got Karen Edgerton. We need someone younger who's gonna die. And then my third victim will do a woman. We'll do Isla Fisher here.
okay.
I was tempted to do the singing telegram girl as Zoe
I
Deschanel,
was gonna say that's tailor made for Zoe
but
Deschanel.
I do think she's a little bit too like recognizable. I don't
As
know.
if Martin Sheen or Isla Fisher aren't.
I don't think so. I for some reason Zoe Deschanel is like the only person that looks like Zoe Deschanel in the world.
Yeah, that's true.
It is weird.
I think Liv Tyler could be another fun one to just put in there as a cameo.
Yeah, I was gonna do Donna Reed, but I was like, no, I don't want to kill her. She's too awesome.
Also, Allison Janney, Amy Ryan, Megan Mullally, they also would have been really good cameo pieces.
Yeah, or Francis Fisher,
Yeah,
like Dumb and Dumber, Francis Fisher.
yeah. Alrighty, I gotta get a Black Canary, Dinah Lance, and then I'll give you a cameo. My Black Canary. Someone who can work with Timothy Dalton. Oh, that's the question.
Is Black Canary is that at all like Black Cat in the Marvel?
No. Black
Okay.
Canary is like a martial artist who's like a super skilled fighter, very good strategist, but also she has the sonic scream. So like she has the big voice where
Oh, she's an actual superhero.
yeah, she has that power where she'll just cry out and just the whole fucking place will burst.
Okay.
And that'll be a really fun one. So that's the question: is who can play that role as well?
Well, in terms of like strong females,
I think Sharon Stone could play that part.
I was gonna say Sharon Stone, Jane Fonda, Liv Tyler can do action.
Yeah, I already put Jane Fonda as my Carol Ferris, so I'm gonna
Okay.
go. I'll put Sharon Stone as my Donna Lance.
You don't want Freddy versus Jason's Kelly Rowland in there?
You know, not really. All due respect to Kelly Rowland because she has a magnificent voice. Can't say she's a great actress.
Yeah, not really.
Alrighty, and I will do one cameo quick. It's the easiest one in the world. Batman does appear at the end, which is what I
That's what I
saved him
figured.
for. So, for the Batman, we go the greatest Batman of all time. My boy, Michael Keaton. The
As
second I saw it,
Batman,
as
Gene
Batman.
Hackman.
Well, the other thing is there's a couple here where no, I'll put Gene Hackman as the or Gene Wilder as the Flash.
That could actually be fun,
Yeah, I know.
depending on the version of the Flash. Okay, all I need is a director.
I do
There's
need
one,
I need a director as
there's
well.
one choice on here that I think fits perfectly.
Okay, Zack Snyder, obviously.
That's the one who I would avoid at all costs. I would literally pick anyone else on this list before I pick him. Um, so if see the problem is the one that you think I'm gonna pick is not who I'm picking. You think I'll go with Joe Wright.
I just thought no matter what, you were just gonna say, I don't care, I'm picking Joe Wright because Joe Wright is here.
I do love him, and I would love him as
Also,
like a
period piece,
exactly. He fits perfectly with period piece, but he doesn't do
humor.
comedy.
Yeah, he doesn't do comedy at all.
He does very light comedy, like Pride and Prejudice. There are comedic,
Moments, but there's not.
moments.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go Shane Black here
Really? That's
because
an
I
interesting choice.
I just rewatched The Nice Guys, and that movie is so funny, and it is some of the driest humor with Russell Crowe. It's extremely dry humor.
Okay.
So I'm
I
gonna
thought
go Shane Black.
Sean Baker could also work for that for you.
He's a little bit too on the serious side as well.
Barry Levinson, maybe, also could have worked, but
Yeah, I think he brings a little too much gravitas. So yeah,
also I think Patty Jenkins could have done that. If you're going
I'm
for
really
dry, if you're going for dry.
I'm really off her train after Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, that one was rough. That one was rough. And that's the funny part is what tone do I want to go with?
So I'm actually gonna have written and directed by Shane Black.
I'm very tempted to do something here that I think could be really bad, but it would make for good conversation. I need a director.
You need someone who can do action.
That's the problem, but I also need someone who can balance the story of resurrection and redemption, and it's a redemption for an entire group of people, not and it's focused on one person obviously, but you're building a universe and you have to redeem an entire organization of people and bring them back into the fold.
Yeah. So in terms of action, your choices really are John McTiernan, Zack Snyder, Patty Jenkins.
Shane Black can do action.
Yes, and Tony Gilroy.
Why am I blanking on Tony Gilroy's stuff? I know I've obviously seen plenty of his.
He stepped in on Rogue One
Yep.
for all the reshoots. He did one of the Bournes, or he wrote Bourne. Let me look it up real quick. I thought he directed one of the Bournes, but I could be wrong about that.
That's
Um,
fine. Oh boy. Or do I just shoehorn your boy Joe Wright in here?
I'm never going to complain about that.
No, I. It will not be written by this man. I'm going to take John McTiernan. I'm going to put him back in the seat to work.
Okay.
We're going to go John McTiernan as the
So
director of this
Tony
film.
Gilroy has only directed five things. He did The Bourne Legacy, was director of that, and Michael Clayton. So
Ooh.
I think he's a little too serious.
But Rogue One balances that out a little bit. What else has he
Oh, he
done?
also apparently he wrote 24 episodes of Andor. And I guess
That's
he's the
why.
creator of
That's
Andor.
why I know. Yeah, here I think that Andor doesn't hit the tone right. So I'm gonna go John McTiernan. He's gonna be the director of this film.
Okay.
It's gonna be an action film, but we gotta. He's gonna somehow have to balance
I was gonna say
a lot of
he's
emotional
that's
stuff.
gonna be a challenge for him to get some emotion in there.
It wouldn't be the best to launch this thing, but we're gonna try it because I don't think there is a great choice to launch. Patty Jenkins, I would do it. I would think about it, but actually,
Eddie Jenkins, I think she actually would fit. You just got to kind of rein her in a bit. I think they gave
is
her a little
she
bit too
is
much.
she the one that you have to rein in, or do you have to rein in a studio that's trying to do too much shit?
Well, didn't she also write it?
I can't remember. Look it up.
I think she also wrote Wonder Woman 84.
Actually, you know what? I'm
I
not gonna
don't
go with John McTiernan. I'm gonna go with Patty Jenkins.
I
I'm gonna
don't
give
think
her the
she
shot.
let me make sure here. I don't think she wrote the first Wonder Woman, but I could be wrong about that.
I do not recall her writing the first Wonder Woman.
Okay, so director, writer. She wrote, yes, story and screenplay of Wonder Woman 84.
Oh, that's a bad tone. That's a bad note for her.
And the other thing she wrote is Monster.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah, I that's also based on a true story.
Right.
So
You still have to adapt it and make it work, though.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm going to give her the shot because I think what Patty Jenkins does well is brings out the emotion of people. If you can make Gal Gadot look functional and charismatic,
That's a good point.
you can make this team that there is not a single bad actor on this list. You don't.
Yeah.
So, and also, this is a studio movie in which you are building a franchise. So you say, "Hey, Patty, we're going to be involved because I need you to do this
So
X, Y, and Z." But
yeah, Wonder Woman was also co-written by Jeff Johns
yep,
and Dave Callahan. Don't know who that is,
I
but
don't
I
know
do
that
know
one.
who Jeff Johns is.
Well, he wrote this bad boy right here.
Okay.
Jeff Johns is the biggest DC writer of the past 25 years. Everything that's modern DC that half of it is written by Jeff Johns. The reason, and he brings back successfully Justice Society of America, The Flash, Green Lantern, and Aquaman. Those last three, all of those modern iterations, all Jeff Johns. That's why they all
Yeah,
work.
I do remember reading the Flash one he did.
You liked that one. I remember that one too.
Yeah, it's good.
Which is why when you said it, I was like, oh, you might want to try Aquaman. You might want to try Green Lantern. Because to me, I was like, Jeff Johns is one of my favorite writers of all time. So he understands it. He gets it, which I really like. So, but yeah. So you want me to run down mine, or you want to run down yours quick?
I'll run down mine real quick.
All right. Give us a
Okay,
quick
we got
description of what's happening in this movie.
I only can say it's a murder mystery at some kind of either New England or English mansion estate.
I'd say New England. Put it up in like the Green Mountains era. area of like
Yeah.
Vermont, New Hampshire.
Um. Okay, we got Wadsworth reappearing.
Oh, by the
Tim,
way, period piece. You said what decade are you looking at?
I think I'm gonna stick with 40s, 50s.
Okay, so
So we're
50s.
still in the Red Scare.
Hell yeah! I love Gene Hackman getting to play in the Red Scare. That sounds fun.
We got Wadsworth. Tim Curry is reappearing as Wadsworth.
That was your wild card pick.
The main cast of Colonel Mustard is Gene Hackman. Mr. Green is Ronnie Cox. Professor Plum, Michael Keaton. Veronica Lake as Miss Scarlet.
Okay.
Mrs. White, Maggie Smith. And then the ones that most people are probably not familiar with, Madame Rose is Goldie Hawn. Miss Peach, Margot Robbie. Monsieur Brunette is Gene Wilder. And we got Dr. Black slash Mr. Body, Timothy Dalton.
And you have cameo appearances as well, by the way.
I totally forgot to write them down.
Your cameos are by Martin Sheen, Taron Egerton, and Isla Fisher.
Okay. And they're all going to die.
They're all of them are going to die somehow. I kind of like Taron Egerton being like Colonel Mustard's piss boy that dies. Just
Yeah, I was thinking he's going to be like a lackey.
he's definitely got to do the Colonel Mustard lackey. Like that's perfect for him.
Yeah.
And I love Gene Hackman era, Royal Tenenbaums era, just having to be like, no, my boy, my boy, but also
Mhm.
not caring about him at all. That'd be really fun. All right, so I redid the Green Lantern Corps. So in this we have a embodied by two giant cosmic entities. Hal Jordan coming back from the dead to revitalize himself and the entire Green Lantern Corps. And then eventually we have the whole Green Lantern Corps reunited from Earth to take on Parallax, defeat him, and or defeat it, I guess, and revitalize the Green Lantern Corps. So we have our Hal Jordan, who's the lead of this movie, played by Roy Scheider. Love interest Carol Ferris, who will eventually turn into Star Sapphire, as Jane Fonda. Our biggest recurring villain will be Sinestro, played by Sean Bean, breaking the universal rule that Sean Bean must die in a film. Our John Stewart is played by George Harris, right after the Captain Katanga era of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Our Guy Gardner is Chris Evans. Kyle Rayner will be played by Paul Dano. Those are all Green Lanterns. Kilowog, also Green Lantern, will be voiced by Jared Harris, but he's a big, weird alien thing, so just need the voice of Jared Harris. Then with some mocap, but mostly just voice work, is Ganthet, played by Denholm Elliott, who's a weird blue genius who runs the Guardians of the Universe. Then Parallax, this giant parasitic entity of fear, is going to be voiced by Jason Isaacs. The Spectre will be voiced by Martin Sheen. That would be the era of West Wing when he's Jed Bartlett. A president we can actually believe in, Jed Bartlett. Salute you, Mr. President. All right. Then I've got not a cameo, but close to a cameo of Oliver Queen, played by Timothy Dalton, and his love interest, Dinah Lance, also known as Black Canary, played by Sharon Stone. And the ultimate cameo, the greatest piece about this movie, is that we have a cameo from the Justice League of America, led by Batman, also known as Michael Keaton. So, and then my director is Patty Jenkins. And did you state your director on that one?
Oh, yes. Written and directed by Shane Black.
Very interesting. And I'll be directed by Patty Jenkins. I don't know if she's gonna be my writer, but
Your other cameo is Superman, played by Kurtwood Smith.
you
How
know
great would
what?
that be?
Actually, I'm gonna put a cameo of the Justice Society of America, and I'm gonna have Kurtwood Smith be the voice of Doctor Fate. That's what I'm gonna do.
I don't know who that is, but okay.
Doctor Fate's cool as hell. I think you'd like Doctor Fate. Doctor Fate is he's a professor type who puts on this like mystical helmet that embodies this like essentially magical god, but it keeps driving the embodiment mad to a degree. It always pushes them to their limits. I love just a cranky ass Kurtwood Smith in those warm moments as Red Foreman. getting to be the professor, and then he has to put on the helmet and just be like blowing people away with magic. That'd be fun. So that'll be if I have to put Kurtwood Smith in this movie somehow, which I would appreciate doing. That's where I put him for now. But that we've built some movies here. I didn't even use a wild card pick because I don't even know how to use a wild card pick in this fucking movie right now.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. I don't even know what I would do for a wild card pick.
Yeah, I had a bit more of an obvious one.
Well, I also goaded you into that one. I was like, you got to do
True.
it. You got to do it. You got to do it. Well, also the obvious part of Wadsworth, if you're going to stick anywhere close to that character, the best choice on this list you already used somewhere else.
True.
So that's why we had to do that. But that has been the show. So if you're live on Twitch, unfortunately, we are running out of time, so we're not going to be able to do our third episode today. We'll table that for next week, and we'll be doing that Thursday. So we'll be doing some more recordings on that, and that'll pop up on the schedule panel on Twitch, soon to be coming on the Really Snappy Gaming channel. If you are listening, thank you guys so much for listening wherever you are on Spotify or YouTube. You can catch this on Spotify or YouTube, just like you can get all the gaming content on the Really Snappy YouTube channel. PT Creative is still the home currently right now for the Wisco Movie Watch podcast on YouTube. Check that out. A lot of good stuff coming. Got more movie reviews coming. I plan on being in the theater a lot. I'm putting that Marcus movie pass to fucking use this year.
There you go. Good.
So I'm gonna have to do it because I know Dylan's not going to the theater to do it. So
Not about to.
we got to take care of that somehow. But thank you guys so much for watching and listening wherever you are. We appreciate it. Stay tuned for some new stuff coming your way in February. We're going to get you ready for the Oscars and a bunch of other cool stuff. So thank you so much. Peace, love, and hugs to you all.
Bye.
Goodbye.